Welcome to BearingPoint's ABS Expert Talk, where we turn complexity into clarity and strategy into funding. If you are in corporate treasury or a CFO, this is exactly the place to be. In today's session, we're going to talk about where are customer challenges and how they can be overcome. I think we both mentioned before that securitization has a certain degree of complexity, which means also there are probably reservations and concerns, or let's formulate it positively, challenges in such a product. Therefore, I think it's interesting to discuss how do we address these challenges, how do we address the concerns, and how do we overcome them. Mark, what is your experience in this?
So throughout our experience over the last 20 years and with more than 150 customers live on our systems, there's probably not one excuse we haven't heard in the past. I'm happy to challenge that, but I think we heard a couple of them. So one of them would be that ABS is difficult to understand. It's a complex financial market product, and it's very difficult to convince the CFO to go for that path. There are always complex contracts involved, so only taking the number of pages involved, there are at least 100 pages in an ABS transaction, in an ABS contract. And when you take a look at the factoring contract or a Schuldschein contract, then you will have probably 10 to 30 pages at a maximum. Coming to more people-centric excuses is that they don't have enough resources, they have too many other projects involved, no free capacity, which could help during setting up a securitization program or a securitization transaction together with the arranging bank. As well as the IT systems, which might be outdated, which might not be able to provide the data as it is necessary on an ongoing basis. And going back, leaving the path of a setup project, let's move to the day-to-day management of receivables. Typical argument why we should not do it is always that it's very work intense, the day-to-day handling, provision of data, getting reports back, handling the reports back into the back office systems. So that's always a common reservation. But the ABS service is able to help directly, can ease this pain and can help with the argumentation against or for the management or for such an ABS transaction. So we would be able to support the day one of the feasibility study. So just at the beginning of the transaction, we come along with standard interfaces and tools. We rely on market-proven processes. Why? I can elaborate how many customers of myself have come to us and say, okay, they're unique, they're different, they are special. And I value that, but at the end, we are always able to show that we can pin the process down to a couple of cornerstones, which helps the customer to set up a process which is livable for them as well. We try to automate the complete process of the day-to-day securitization transaction, so that there is probably 10 minutes, 20 minutes of involvement necessary on the customer side. And in addition to that, we come with data analytics tools which help our customers to move from only monitoring the portfolio towards steering the portfolio, identifying risks at an early stage, and take actions if necessary. And it would all be nothing without, let's say, some practical examples here. We had an early involvement for the evaluation of the requirements of a future ABS transaction. We were able to advise the Treasury department with the common reservations and how these challenges are typically met and discussed. Yeah. So we were able to display the common data requirements from the banks. What is their necessity? What do they really need in order to build up an ABS transaction and an ABS process? We came along with blueprints for one-time efforts and tasks. What needs to be done up front? How is it handled? How long does it take if people are working together? So here we demonstrated how to automate the ongoing large data volume processes. And it became clear that setting up a securitization transaction and processing a securitization and moving on with the process, let's say on a day-to-day basis, is not a miracle. It just needs to be focus. It just needs focus and needs to be set up properly.
From my experience as treasurer, I could add that I think obtaining this independent advice from a third party that is not a risk taker in the later transaction is of immense help. It just adds another perspective, not biased by committees internally, risk strategies, and all these things. So I think my recommendation and tip to any of you listening to us would be talk to such an advisor, talk to us, right? And get this independent advice and opinion of experts in the product and in the market on board to achieve your goals.
Let's organize a discovery call in order to early identify your pain points and its potential solutions early in the process, or before you have planned a securitization transaction, or when you are thinking about a securitization transaction. This will help you to structure your work, your progress, your project towards a successful implementation of an ABS program. We hope you did find the insights valuable and tune in again for our next conversation.